Welcome to another edition of Finish First. I am the Yogi Judge, Judge Dawson, and I am here with some information that hopefully can help you move to the next level. Now, maybe you're watching this video because you found it on the internet, or maybe you were assigned from my court to watch the video. But either way, I'm glad you're here because my whole goal and my whole mission is to give you tools that you can use to take your life to the next level. Oftentimes, that next level means avoiding negative interaction with the legal system. And what's interesting about the legal system is that it takes so little to have contact with the legal system. It's anything. It could be a traffic stop. It could be a ticket that you receive. But the question is, once you are in that legal matrix, once it begins, how do you navigate it so that you don't destroy your life, or at the very least, inconvenience yourself? So my goal as a judge, I've been on the bench for 9 years, and my goal is to give you information about this system so that you don't end up being crushed by the system, but instead you make it through in a way that doesn't harm you or your family. Now, in that vein, what I've done is come up with a system called the Cycle Breaker system. Now, I didn't create the name or the phrase, but I did create the system that I employ to give you tools for success. The Cycle Breaker system is simply this. First, you have to recognize the need for change. So what is it about your life? What is it about your interactions with authority? What is it about your current employment situation, or whatever it is, what needs to change in your life? And a lot of people think, well, you know what, I don't need to change anything. Well, if you don't need to change anything, is it possible that something can be made a little better? Now, maybe you are living the perfect life. Not many of us, or shall I say not any of us are, but maybe that's you. So what I'd ask you to do is just look at the life that you have and see if there are any areas that you can clean up or clear up. And that is an example of a cycle that you can break. So the first step to being a cycle breaker is recognize the need for change. The second step is, once you recognize what you can do to elevate your life, your environment, your world, now you have to commit to making that change. You see, it's not enough to say, well, that needs to change or they need to stop doing this. The question is, how do we do it? And we do it by committing to being involved in the change. Oftentimes, being committed means being up close and personal with the things that you don't like. So if there's something that you want to change in your life, you may have to get a little closer to it. You may have to get a little more personal with it so that you can be actually involved in the change process. And then the third element is that you have to get the tools and resources that will help you make the change. We could talk about change every day, all day long. But the question is, do we really know what it takes to make change? And do we really have what it takes right now to help make that change? And if you don't, that's an area where we need to have improvement, meaning we need to get tools, resources, people, places, and things around us so that we elevate our mind and our ability to make the change that you're interested in making. And then the last step, which sometimes may be considered the most important part of it, after you've recognized the need for change, after you've made a commitment to changing, and now you've gotten the resources, you have to have the ability to hang in there when the going gets tough. That's the fourth element of being a cycle breaker, the grit and the willpower to hang in there when things get rough. So I submit to you that oftentimes when you are moving toward a particular goal, you will find ways, they'll just pop up, that you can go left or that you can go right. But what I'm telling you is that if you continue to go straight forward, head on towards your goals, you will accomplish them. There's always time for the left and right travel. But right now, you're trying to be a cycle breaker. Right now, you're trying to take your life to the next level, and that requires your commitment. So today, we're going to talk about a tool of being a cycle breaker. And basically, I want to give you 6 steps on how you can make sure you don't lose your cool during this time of the year. So much stress, so many things going on, so many reasons to lose our cool. So I want to give you 6 ways that you can avoid losing your cool. Step number 1, take a deep breath. Now, if you know anything about me, you know that I am a yogi, I am a yoga teacher, and I have a yoga studio with a yoga school. So breath is a big part of my existence. Breath is a big part of what I normally teach and preach. And I'm telling you that breath is the secret sauce to calming you down. I recently saw a movie where they taught a young boy to raise his hands in the air, take a deep breath, and exhale. And not only doing that once, but more than once. Because when you take that deep breath in, it does something to your nervous system. And we can get all technical if you want to join me for another session. But the nervous system responds to breath in a way that it is able to calm down. Now, the alternative is true too. If you're breathing heavy and you're allowing yourself to get excited, it'll be impossible to calm down. So when you are about to lose your cool, take notice of where you are in regard to your breathing, slow it down, take that deep breath, and exhale. Step number 2, ground yourself. So what does that mean? Especially if you're not in the world of yoga, because yoga teachers say it all the time. Ground down, feel the earth. But basically what it means is reconnect to what is living, what is present, and what is positive. Ground yourself down. See, when you're about to lose control or when you're losing control, it's almost like you're floating all over the place. You're being blown from here to there. Everything somebody says makes you upset. You don't have any base, you don't have any ground. So what I suggest to you, number 2, is feel your body grounded. Feel the heaviness of your body, your existence. You are powerful. You are here right now. So maybe move your feet, stomp your feet, whatever you need to do to feel connected to the earth and to life. I'm telling you, that will give you the ability to calm yourself down, especially when you combine that with your breath. So step number 2 is to ground yourself down. Step number 3 is to move your body. See, some of us just sit around all day watching TV, on the internet, scrolling our phones, and we don't get enough exercise and activity. So I would tell you that exercise and activity is a way to keep you positive, and it's definitely a way to calm you down. So if you are in a state where you are feeling out of sorts and people are getting on your nerves, maybe you need to go for a short walk. Maybe that short walk is from your desk to the bathroom. That's a walk. And if you take your time, and if you're breathing, and if you're feeling each step, you're being grounded down, by the time you return to your desk, you'll have a better attitude. Now, maybe you're able to take a walk outside, and there's no better place to go than outside with nature. Not only will you feel the wind blowing on your face, but you're also going to feel life and nature happening all around you. And I'm going to tell you, if nothing else, that is a very humbling experience because it reminds us that it's not all about us, that life is bigger than what we're going through. That little situation that got you upset is so much smaller than the entire universe, and being out in nature will remind you of that. Because we don't control anything in nature. You don't control the wind, the sun, the rain, the snow, whatever it is. So it reminds you how small that little issue is. So when you're about to lose control, remember step number 1, take a deep breath. Number 2, you want to ground yourself down. And number 3, move your body in some productive way. Number 4 is an easy one, and it's kind of surprising. Simply smile. Yes, turn your cheeks up and smile, because it's something about smiling that just makes you feel really good. I mean, it may be temporary, right? Because our problems don't go away with just a smile, but there's something about the energy that you receive and the energy that you give when you smile. So believe it or not, when you're going through some hard times, I'm gonna make it short and sweet, smile. Smile for a minute, maybe even look in the mirror and smile. And that may just be that temporary fix, but it will inject you with energy to give you the ability to calm yourself down, because remember, we're talking about calming down so that you don't lose your cool. So smiling is an important tool. Number 5, this is where it gets a little challenging, because now after you have smiled, you've moved your body, you've grounded down, you've taken your deep breath, now I want you to use your mind and to debate your thoughts. Debate your thoughts. Ask yourself, okay, I'm feeling this way, but why am I feeling this way? And then there's a more important question to ask yourself. The why question leads to other things, and I've used that tool before. But the most important question when you're trying to calm yourself down is, what if? What if? Ask yourself, what if they didn't mean to hurt me with those words? What if they didn't mean to hurt me with their actions? They were just doing what they knew they could do at that time. They were using their best knowledge. They were mistaken, but they didn't mean to hurt me. What if? And then also, what if what they're doing to me can't hurt me at all in the long run? Because if it doesn't kill you, you're still alive. So when you're going through it and you're losing your cool, it is so important to debate your thoughts. Ask yourself that big, powerful question, what if? And that may change the entire game. Number 6, our last tool to make sure you don't lose your cool. After you have asked yourself, what if? You've grounded yourself down, you've smiled, you've taken that deep breath, all the things that I've told you to do. Now, I want you to enlist some support. Because maybe you can't make it through on your own. So you need to call that positive friend that you know wants to always talk you off the ledge. Now that's important, because you don't want to call the friend who is always encouraging you to get live and to get pumped. No, you don't want that friend right now. You want the friend that's going to give you the alternate side and say, hey, what if this, what if that, or calm down. Now maybe you don't have those types of friends in your life. You need to get them, but maybe you don't have them. So maybe what you should do is enlist the support of a book that often makes you smile or brings you positivity. Maybe that book is the Bible. Maybe that book is something that inspires you. If you don't have a book and you don't like to read, which you should do, maybe it's listening to music that inspires you. And again, right here, you don't want to listen to the song that gets you ready to fight in the club and get you all pumped up. You want to listen to the music that calms your soul and responds to your need to calm down. So ladies and gentlemen, those are the tools, 1 through 6, ways to calm yourself down so that you don't lose your cool. Because oftentimes when you lose your cool, you lose something else that's more valuable. It could be a relationship, it can be an opportunity, or worse, you can end up in somebody's courtroom like mine, or even in somebody's jail. My goal is to make sure that none of that happens to you, so continue to be cycle breakers, and I will see you next time. Let's go.